You ever finally sit down, like really sit down, and that's the exact moment someone yells your name from the other room?
Oh, yeah, every time. It's like the universe knows. The second I get comfortable, someone needs a snack, the dog's barking, or my phone's ringing.
Exactly. And that's what this podcast is all about. Those little moments between chaos and calm, where you're just trying to breathe, but life keeps happening.
Welcome to I Just Sat Down, the podcast for moms, women, and multitaskers who do it all and somehow still manage to laugh about it.
I'm Desi, mom, entrepreneur, serial enthusiast, and fully committed to figuring it out as I go.
And I'm Crystal, multi-passionate entrepreneur, mom of chaos, coffee enthusiast, and believer that a good laugh can fix almost anything.
Every week, we're diving into the messy middle of life: parenting, work, relationships, identity, all the real, unfiltered stuff that no one warned us about.
We'll share stories, a few hard truths, and definitely some laughs, because if we can't laugh through it, we might just cry instead.
So, whether you're listening in the car, hiding in the bathroom, or actually lucky enough to sit down,
grab your coffee and let's get into it. Welcome to I Just Sat Down.
Welcome back to I Just Sat Down. I'm Desi and I'm here with Crystal. Today we are diving into motherhood myths nobody warned us about, the quiet expectations, the unspoken rules, and the pressure we all feel but rarely talk about. So we put a poll out on Instagram and got some of your feedback as well. But I think that there's so many things that come up in motherhood that we're like, oh, this is what it really is, right? Because you see a lot of things on TV and social media, and you kind of have these daunting feelings about things that you're just unsure where to actually believe the
Right.
truth. So we're here to kind of break some of those myths for you. Um, One thing that I didn't realize was like the overwhelm when you
Mm.
have kids. And I saw somebody put it was like a little post on Facebook, and it was like, when my mom would be like, I basically can't think, like I can't think my own thoughts right now, like everybody's too loud, I can't think my own thoughts. And I'm like, how true is that? Like, I can't,
How
it's
true
just
is
too
that? But
loud.
when I was that age and my mom was saying that to me, I'd be like, what do you
Yeah,
mean? Like, you can't think right now. What are you talking about? Like, I just asked
right.
you a question, answer it, right? But
Yeah,
then
yeah.
when you get to this stage, you're like, oh, okay. It definitely makes you have a little bit more of like empathy.
Yeah, the realization of it all.
Yes. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Absolutely. So do we want to read a couple of the things that our listeners
Yeah,
did say?
absolutely. For sure.
Okay, so um, one of our listeners said one of the myths in motherhood was having a C-section isn't actually giving birth. And I was like, because that's horrible,
Yeah.
but it's something that people actually think, or they think that like a C-section is like the easy way out. And it's like,
I
uh,
yeah.
whoa.
I would never want to, like, I'm grateful that I didn't have to, and I wouldn't by choice personally do it, knowing the recovery is as hard as I've heard it is. Yeah.
Right? Absolutely. They're literally cutting through 7 layers of skin, and you think that that's not, or 7 layers of tissue, I should say.
Yeah.
And you're saying that that's not giving birth? What are you talking about? Oh my goodness. And then somebody else said you can only be a mother. You're not supposed to work too. And I feel
Aw.
like that one hits. Feel like that
Yeah.
hits so much because we have these like,
Limiting beliefs.
yeah, not even the limiting beliefs, but just such the expectation
Mm.
of a mother. And then when you have a working mother, she's supposed to do all the things that
Gosh.
a mother is supposed to do, as well as do her job with that same, um,
Like the energy of
yeah, like
equal.
same amount of energy. You're
Yeah.
supposed to equally be able to do a job, and then but also you need to be at home and taking care of things. It's almost like if you're choosing to work and be a mother, you're almost having to like split yourself in half, which I know that's not really the truth, and that's what we're
Hmm.
talking about today. These myths, these things that we think about, or the things that society puts on us, right?
Yeah.
That you're only supposed to be a mother and you're not supposed to work. And then one of the other things was funny. This actually hit my DM instead of the comment box that I put up. But when you breastfeed and the weight is supposed to just fall off,
Oh
and
my
she was
God,
like, "I
yes.
was lied to,"
100%.
and I'm
You're
like, "Yeah,
hungrier.
girl, yeah." Like it did not just fall off. I
Yeah.
don't
I
know what.
definitely day to day was kind of waiting, right? Like when I was breastfeeding, I was like, okay, we're doing this. And like every day, you're just like drinking all of the water, eating all the snacks because they're taking all of the nutrients from your body. And you're like, when is this weight falling off? Oh, maybe it's after I stop breastfeeding, right? That's when the weight falls off.
Right.
No,
No.
it's settled. It's
No.
settled.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I was like, oh, that one I feel. Because I was like, oh, I'll just, what's that? Bounce back while I'm
Oh,
breastfeeding. And it was like,
yeah,
no,
not the
no,
case.
girl. That's a myth.
Yeah. So that
No.
was the ones that came through Instagram.
Those are the ones that came through Instagram. Yeah.
So thank you to everyone who put your myths in there because 100% we're with you on that.
Yeah. I think
One of
one of
the
the ones that just goes really well with the last one that I said was the fact that breastfeeding is easy,
oh God, no. Yeah.
right? And I think,
Some people make it look really easy.
yeah, and I mean, sometimes it does come fairly easy
Yeah.
to people. It was easy for me after I learned how to latch him.
Yeah.
It was easy. Happy to do it. Those first couple weeks, I was in severe pain,
Yeah.
but that wasn't, but I think that's something that people just, I think maybe that's where like the flip side of it was when people can't breastfeed, they get so upset and just down on themselves, thinking that their body is failing them,
Mm.
when
Mm.
really like it just doesn't come naturally for everyone, and everybody's body is so different, right?
Yeah. Like I was able to do it. I was not able to do it, sorry, with my first. I struggled. It was a very difficult thing. And then with the second one, I was like, okay, like she latched and everything is great. But like I was a bleeder. I always was like, I had to use the Dr. Newman's cream, the like special medicated stuff to heal because I
Right.
wasn't healing. I don't know if I wasn't latching properly. I went
Mhm.
to like the early year center to like get the extra assistance because I was like, am I doing this wrong? Like this shouldn't hurt this bad.
Right.
And then like the engorgement of it and the mastitis, like all of the things were happening and I was like, what the, and I still like I did it for quite a long time for my
Mhm.
second and my third because it's like, yeah, once you get the hang of it, it's the bonding and there's so many like beautiful things about it for sure. But oh
Right.
my God, it is not easy.
No, that's absolutely not.
Yeah. I think one of the big things is like um feeling instantly bonded with your baby. Not everybody has that, and that's something
Right.
that like I did feel the bond, but I think in the initial reaction to it, you're like, wait, this doesn't feel the way that everybody made it out to, that it's supposed to be like this euphoric magical like thing. And
Right.
I guess it just depends on what your labor experience was like
Yeah.
and what your mentally emotional like stability is in that moment when you have a baby because you could have went into that labor having a severe argument with your spouse that's supposed to be there to support you and then you still have like all this angst in your body when the baby comes, like there's things that can
Right.
happen over time that can create
Also,
that
just
bond
like,
to not.
yeah. Also, if your baby is taken away, like has to go into the NICU, or, you know, you don't get to do that skin on skin, like all those things would potentially affect that, right? And
Yeah.
I think just like also it comes down to like if you don't have help in those first couple little, those first couple weeks, the baby is up all the time and, not, you're not sleeping, you're sleep deprived. There's all of those factors, right? If you're
Mm-hmm.
doing things alone by yourself, like you might feel like, your life has just changed so much and you might get in your head feeling like, oh, this baby, like,
Yeah.
never sleeps, always crying,
What was
always
I
things like,
thinking?
why are we bonding with this? You know what
Right,
I
right,
mean?
right. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of like stigma around that because like people are always like, oh, my baby, like this is the best thing ever. It's so wonderful and blissful and euphoric, right? Like you said all
Yeah.
those things. And it's just like, yeah, for some people, that's not it.
Yeah, and that's again the highlight reels of life, right? Like this is what we're
Yeah,
seeing is all the good things and all the good sides of everybody's life, and you're like, people aren't going to be posting like I didn't bond instantly with my baby because
right.
you don't want to be looked at like, oh, you're a terrible mother or
Of
whatever the case
course.
might be.
Myth.
Um, yeah, right. And then another one that goes with that is like the maternal instincts kicking in naturally. I, for one, I notice it more and more as I'm like going through the process of life, like how we talk about like nighttime routines. I wasn't good with stuff like that, so that's just something that I felt like I wasn't taught things naturally. They didn't come naturally to me, right?
Right.
So even like my sister-in-law right now, she had a baby, and with her baby, she's so good about learning all of the things. I'm like, you're so smart, like you're so like good. You have the equipment in your brain to like do the things that you feel are supposed to be done for your child. Whereas like I look back and I'm like, my baby would cry, and I'm like, okay, in English terms, is this a feed cry? Is this a poop cry? Are you just tired? I didn't know the difference between the cries. And I would have other people say, oh, that sounds like they're hungry, or oh, that sounds like they're tired. And I'm like, what do you mean? Like, how the fuck can you tell the difference? And I think intuitively, I didn't have that intuitive nature in my bones back then. It was all fear based and nerve system and whatever.
Survival.
Yeah. So when things would come up, I didn't have that intuitive like, oh, they're tired or oh whatever. Like I would just try the boob, and if that didn't work, then I would check the diaper, and if that was clean, then I would try to go to sleep. Like I would just try all of the things. So
Right.
I personally did not have that like the maternal instincts naturally kick in for that side of it. Other things
Right.
for sure. Like you have, certain things that come up that just, I don't know if it came naturally or if it was just like I was just trusting myself
More. Yeah.
and hoping for the best.
Right. I think for me, I talk about this a little bit in just the sense of like I was a little bit older when I had my
Mhm.
son. So I think that that really helped me to be able to kind of lean into that tuition and just kind of know if something felt not right, you know, that I was able to just kind of like really do that. I think that I definitely was better than I would have been if I was younger. I feel
Mhm.
like I wouldn't have trusted myself at all in any of the decisions that I was making, especially when you have other opinions
Oh
coming
yeah.
in. You're like, oh, well, should I be doing that? Like you continue to question everything. And not that I didn't question anything, of course I did, but I still stood firm, I think, in what I actually thought was right for him and for myself.
Yeah.
So, but
Yeah. It is. It's hard when you're like when you're not trying to listen to everybody else around you, but also not really knowing any different, and people's opinions get really strong sometimes where you're like, maybe I am fucking this up. Maybe they do know better than I do about my own child.
no,
Um, and again, that goes into good moms don't need help, right?
right.
You like my biggest thing was coming from the hospital and being like, okay, me, I got this. This is fine. I don't need anybody, right? And do you know how much I would have like thrived if I had the help? My mom came every so often to just be like, go shower, go get groceries, go do something to just get away from the house for a little bit. And that was like huge. My mom was like, that was like a big thing for me that she actually came and made that effort. And like, even to this day, my oldest is 14, my youngest is 7, and she still makes dinner once a week and brings it over for the kids. Cause that was like the thing that's her love language, I think, is like the cooking
I
for
love
us or
that.
whatever, right? Feeding us. So that's really nice that we have that. But yeah, it's just like feeling like I can do it all, and that was something that was in my head, a belief that um becomes an overwhelm over time where you just fucking lose your mind because you're like,
Yeah,
I just need a break. I just need a break. And
right. And you
yeah.
don't need a break because you when people are like, "Oh, you want time away from your kids." No, I just want time for myself to sit in my
Think in
own
my own, yeah.
thoughts, to,
Yeah.
you know, think about what's happening in my brain for 2 seconds instead of trying to figure out what everybody else is doing and what I have to do for everyone else. I think that's a huge one. I think that, I feel like inherently as women, we just think, I can do everything on my own. I can do everything myself. And I mean, credit to the tribe that I had around me when I first had my son because I 1000% wouldn't have been able to do it by myself. I would have had to tell 14 brides that I wasn't coming to their weddings. So I
Hmm.
definitely thought I could do it all in the sense of I can work and be a mom. And I did it, but I look back on that time and I think, whew, that was 2 whole weeks away from my son. Two, 2 whole weeks, 14 days, 14 full days where I was gone. And I don't know if that's me doing it all. I don't know. I don't know if that was like something that I really should have done or if I should have maybe just delegated those weddings to somebody else. But
But it's
that's
something that you had to go through and realize if that's something that you wanted to, I mean, the same, like I went back to work way too early. So I get like the looking back and the perspective of like, well, I should have did this or I could have maybe
right.
done this differently, but like we did the things that we had to do in the moment because that's what you felt like you had to do.
Right. And I think sometimes in the moment too, you're just in the moment. Like you say this all the time. Like I was just in survival mode at that time, right? So I was just doing everything and anything to just make sure that all heads were above water and we were just, going through the days. So,
And as an entrepreneur, you're like, who the fuck's going to pay me? Like,
or
I need the
who's going
money.
to do it for me? Because
Yeah.
people are expecting me to
Hmm.
show up, right? They're not expecting somebody else because
Hmm.
the bottom line, especially for a job like mine, is it doesn't matter. So there's somebody out there who can also do the same job that I can do, but they're not going to do it the exact same way,
Hmm.
right?
It's a
So,
lot of
I mean,
pressure too.
yeah, of course it is for sure. So, yeah, anyways.
Hmm.
Um,
Uh,
one one other myth that I kind of found was that kind of relates to this a little bit is once you become a mom, you lose yourself. And we talked about this a little bit in our reclaiming identity
hmm.
episode, which I love. But
Hmm.
I think that it's a little bit of a myth because not everybody feels that way, right? Like I feel like not everyone becomes a mom and feels like they've lost a part of them. Some people are like, I became a mom and now I'm the best version of myself. Or, I was always meant to be a mom or whatever, right? Like there's
Hmm.
different things about it, but I think it was just like important to bring it up because if you do feel like you've lost yourself, you haven't. You've just changed a little bit and you just need to learn how to love that new self, right?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Different versions of us come along at any stage of life. And it's just a
yeah,
different part of your journey with motherhood for sure.
I love it.
One of the things that I came up with, well, that I have here that is something that I always thought as a younger teenager when I was toxic and wanting kids young, like really young. Having a baby brings couples closer.
Mm,
And that's something that a lot of young minds think because when you're in a relationship with someone, it's kind of like, well, I don't want to lose them. So they have a baby. Or, I want them to pay more attention to me. And if I have their kid, and all that does is causes now we realize that all that does is cause
right.
more problems because now you have a kid with somebody who potentially wasn't meant for you and now you hate each other and now you have to co-parent with this person who could be a piece of shit and now you
Right.
have to worry about sending your child somewhere else for half of the time because you no longer want to be around this person. Like there's so many lessons that like I'm trying so hard to instill in my kids now, like this is what a healthy relationship looks like. And
Yeah.
my son was like he was having a moment of something going on with him. And as he was talking about it, Corey and I were trying to help him. And as we're talking about it, we have a difference of opinion. So we're saying something back and forth to each other. And then I was like, but no, no, no. And then Corey's like, no, but this. And then we look at our son and he's like, see, I'm upset. And then you guys are fighting. So it causes problems for you guys. And me and Corey both look at each other. We look at him. We're like, both at the same time. We're like, we're good. We're good. Like, we are
Yeah.
good. No matter
Right.
what, we are good. And having that solid foundation together is so important for them to see that, and teaching them those healthy relationships to be like, we can still have a conflict of conversation and still be
Yeah.
okay and happy, and whatever, 2 seconds later we're fine. We don't hold that shit, right?
Right.
But younger us, like, Corey told me he wanted to have kids with me when we were broken up. We had a break of 5 months and he was like, let's just have kids. Like, we should just, I think that we would be good to have kids together. And I was like, absolutely not. Wanting them as badly as I did, it was like, it was such a really weird thing. Like, he knew that he wanted to have kids,
Right.
and it came out at a time that, like, we were in our most fucked up stage of our relationship. And I was like, cool, cool.
That's so funny. It's so
Yeah.
true.
So
That's a scary
that's
thought for a lot of people
the
that they
younger,
think that that's going to kind of like bring them closer together. And
yeah, I guess not
I
necessarily
mean,
younger people either. It's just wherever
no,
your mindset
absolutely
is at
not.
life in life. Yeah.
Sometimes if you're like a little bit older and you really want to have a baby and it's like, maybe you get pregnant with the wrong person because you're just like, but like my clock's ticking. So like this is the guy for now. But
Yeah.
then you have to think about all those other things that kind of come with that. So that can be a shitty situation. I'm sorry for anyone who's in that position because that
Yeah.
sucks.
Yeah.
But
Unless you are willing to share your child with somebody, then you have to really be 50-50 on
forever.
it. Yeah, forever.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyways.
Ah!
Yeah. So, and then other moms are doing better than you. This is another one that, like, I
Mm,
feel like it's just so easy to believe that people are doing better than you, and stop focusing on them.
yeah.
Stop focusing on
No
their
one
shit.
has their shit together. No
No
one.
one, no one. Yeah, I actually saw a thing the other day that was talking about, like, rich, like, I'm in my rich girl mindset or whatever, right? And it was talking about, like, when you see somebody, like, how they come off to you, when you see this, like, professional looking woman, you're like, oh my god, she's probably got millions of dollars, and she's wearing, like, the newest heels, and she looks so, like, well, like, this is in my head when I visualize my future self who's so
Yeah,
successful. It's like blazers and cute whatever
so
outfits
cute.
and
Mhm.
heels, whatever, right? So when I think of that, that's the rich girl mindset. And the thing was to flip it back and be like, people probably look at you in a certain way when they see you, because you're dressed a certain way, because you are done up a certain way, that you have your shit together. And people
Right.
strongly believe that because of how you perceive yourself and how you put off how you are. So
Yeah.
I have a lot of people tell me all the time, oh, you're such a good mother, your kids don't fight, you're this and that and that and I love you, thank you. But also, you don't see the times that I'm going like this when they're arguing and I'm like, somebody hand me the fucking black and white shirt because I'm a referee right now. Like, I don't want to do this shit right now.
Right.
Or right, there's always gonna be things that people don't see behind closed doors.
Right.
And I used to get all the time with Corey and me. They'd be like, oh, you're like couple goals, like you guys get along so well and this and that. And I'm like, today, in this moment, while we're out in public, yes. But every
Absolutely.
relationship goes through their shit.
Hmm.
It's all about how you see people. And, like, if you can equalize people in your mind, it helps in every aspect of life. Like, if I see
Yeah.
somebody now and I'm like, wow, they're so successful and they're so this and they're so that, sure, but I'm sure they have their shit too.
Right.
So try to bring people into your level, and it does not allow you to hold people up so high, because they will
Right.
disappoint you if you hold them up so high and have that, like, intention of wanting to be that when they might not be exactly who you want to be long term.
Right. For me, I always have to do the reframe, right? Like, oh, she's so lucky. No, she
You're so
probably
lucky.
worked her ass off,
Yeah.
to get where she is, to do the things. Um, and yeah, it's funny because like I know for me in my job, like I go to a wedding and I'm like all professional and I'm, all dressed up. And then, you know, fast forward to when I'm editing your wedding and I'm like in like leggings and a hoodie and my hair's all tousled around and I've got my coffee and I look like like a hobbit, like sitting here at the computer, just going to town on your images. And it's just like it's so funny because yeah, you have to dress up and look all professional, but then like obviously when I'm at home, I'm just like I no one's seeing me, so I don't care, right?
Yeah, yeah.
But that, image that you're trying to create, like people do that for a reason, right? Obviously, we don't want
Yeah.
to go out looking like slobs, but sometimes
It
it happens.
happens. Yeah. I was thinking about that this morning. I'm like, I had time this morning. I got myself all done up before I went to the school, and they don't usually see me like that. So
They're
when they
like,
see
what
me
is so
like that,
stupid?
yeah. And it's always that, like, when you get like done up for once, and then someone's like, oh my gosh, you look so good. And in my head, I'm like, but don't I always look good? Like, should I just take the compliment and run, or should I just like
Yeah.
sit on it and be like, so I look like shit other times? Like, is that what I'm in my head about?
No, it's that you made an effort
I made
today
enough.
and somebody saw it.
That's true.
Somebody saw that effort and was like, you know what?
Yeah,
I'm going to tell her that she looks beautiful today. Not that you don't look beautiful every other day, but today you got up,
I'm gonna
got
make that.
yourself
Yeah,
ready, girl,
yeah.
and we're going to compliment you on that.
I recognize your efforts, basically, right? Like
Recognize your efforts. Seriously.
that should be the compliment,
Yeah, I recognize your efforts today. Your hair looks damn good. I love
right?
it. So the myth that good moms love every moment,
Eh, I know.
you know? I feel gross, right? Like, oh my God, like just this morning, like I'm getting the little man ready to go and he's just like fighting me on everything. Like, okay, like let's put your pajamas on. No. Okay, do we want to, like, I try and like give him options to make it like fun. Like, hey, do you want to go to the bathroom or do you want to brush your teeth first? And he's
Yeah,
like, no, like just didn't want to do anything. And I'm like, oh my God, it takes everything in my soul to not be like angry. But then at the same time, I'm like, it doesn't matter. No one's clocking us in at, 8 o'clock. We're not in school mode yet, So like if I can get there whenever I get there to preschool kind of thing.
yeah,
So I'm just like, okay, buddy, like, like what do you want to do? And he's like showing me his cars, and I'm just like, okay, do we not just want to go dressed? Like, come on, just get dressed
yeah,
for me, please. So not I feel like this is such a social media thing and like that we're constantly seeing that highlight reel. I know it's always on replay, right? And you just think like, oh my God, like I don't love doing that or whatever. Like, even I saw somebody talking about how, like, hey, if you don't want to go to the pumpkin patch with your kids, like, you don't have to. And I was like, oh shit, yeah, that's very true. You know, like, because sometimes we get so into doing the things, right? Like, oh, well, I haven't taken my kids to the pumpkin patch. If you don't want to go to the pumpkin patch, you absolutely don't have to, right?
yeah,
So it's just one of those things where you just, I think with social media, we do just get so drawn into like, oh, well, I haven't taken my kids to the pumpkin patch yet this year. So, like, am I going to be looked at as a bad mom? Or, like, if it's something you don't love or you don't enjoy, then don't do it. There
yeah,
are weeks when like I look at women in the grocery store and I'm like, oh my goodness, like girl, she's got her two or three kids or whatever, or just her one kid and she's just grocery shopping. And I'm like, ugh, like that, no. Like I don't want to take him grocery shopping. I'd rather just go by myself.
yeah,
Do I take him grocery shopping? Of course I do. He
yeah,
likes it. He enjoys it. It's fun for him. But do I want to do that every single time? No, and I absolutely don't have to. So I don't because
yes,
I don't like it. I don't enjoy taking him to the grocery store because
yeah.
it takes longer. He wants to put things on the like shelf when
Belt.
we're checking
Oh
out.
yeah,
He
yeah,
wants to pull things off the shelf. He wants everything in his cart because like I'll go where they have like the little carts and I'm like, okay, bud, like your cart's gonna literally fall over, so mommy's gonna put some of the stuff in hers. And he's like, no. And then I have to like trade him like, do you see how long this is taking for a 10-minute grocery haul here? We're
bless your
literally at
patience.
half an hour. So patience are needed, and
Yeah.
it's not my vibe. It's not something that I love to do with him. I'd much
Yeah.
rather go take him to the park for an hour or whatever it is. So I think, yeah, like that myth of like good moms love every moment, that hit for me. That hit hard. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I totally get that. And I feel like it's just every moment, like, come on.
I know. What?
Yeah.
Every
Every
moment?
moment.
Every
No.
single moment?
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know if that's
No.
for me.
No. And especially like having multiples, they're always at each other, or there's always something that they're just like they need to have power over. And like my oldest and my
Right.
youngest, they say it all the time, they butt heads all the time. So I'm constantly having to have the conversations with my oldest to be like, she's a kid, she's
Hmm.
just little. When you were that age, you didn't have the responsibilities that you do now because you're older. You're like getting, and I try, it's hard because I'm like, you're damn near an adult, and then I'm like, you're not an adult, you're still a kid, and I gotta like bring that down because I don't want you thinking that you're an adult to do and
Right.
make adult decisions. But also, like, you're double her age, she's just a kid, please stop. And it's just like this constant battle with them. And that's where I struggle the most is when they are arguing and fighting, because I'm like, this is the person that you should be protective over or showing love towards all the time. And I didn't have that with my siblings either. Like, we fought all the time for sure. So we're 2 years apart. Like, my brothers and I are
Right.
we're two, whatever, right? So we were close in age where we were always picking on each other, battling each other, fighting each other. The love was still there in the background, but we whatever. So with my kids, I'm like, no, I want you growing up being the best of fucking friends. So would you stop fighting? Like,
Right.
but yeah.
Good luck with that.
Well, I'm gonna just keep
I
trying
send
and
you
doing my
all the
best.
well
And
wishes.
right, thank you.
Yeah.
I'm hoping. I'm so hopeful. But anyways, okay. Did we want to go through our little quick run of
Yeah, rapid
questions?
fire.
Yeah, not never rapid.
Right.
What is a motherhood myth that you believed before having kids?
Um, that my life would kind of be over and I wouldn't be able to do anything. Yeah, and I did lots. I work full time, still have a baby, you
Yeah,
know?
yeah.
So I think that was a myth that I was like, oh, I won't be able to like travel or like do the things. I won't be
Mhm.
able to have date nights and all of these things. And I fully am aware that that's probably not a myth for some moms, but fortunately, it is a myth for me. I'm
Yeah.
able to do those things and I make them my priority, right?
Hmm.
I mean, obviously, we're not having like a date night every week. I wish. We have a survivor date night sometimes.
That's cute.
But like, it's our date nights might look different
Yeah.
than couples without kids, but yeah, I think that was one for me.
Hmm. I think one that just comes up instantly is like having a clean home and well cooked meals all the time. Like, mother meant,
That like,
yeah, mother meant like the perfect, clean, beautiful, aesthetically pleasing house with fresh homemade meals all the time. Like, I was just gonna instantly turn into a mother and know how to fucking Martha Stewart my life. That did not
I mean,
happen.
yeah, yeah, I know.
um,
It not
is
happen.
is there a myth that you still catch yourself falling for, even though you know better?
Ooh. Um,
Like, just the perfect life, right? Like, just the everything's supposed to be perfect all the time, and
yeah, and I think maybe the one myth is like that you're supposed to love every moment, you know? And like I don't. There's lots of things that I'm like, ugh, this is trash. I hate
yeah.
it. Like,
Didn't get the memo on this one.
yeah, yeah.
How much pressure comes from society versus the pressure we put on ourselves?
I don't
Pretty
know.
even.
Yeah, I think it's pretty even. Yeah, I would say.
Do we actually talk enough about the parts of motherhood that feel confusing or messy?
I think we're getting way better at it.
Yeah.
I mean, enter our podcast,
Yes, yes. And
right?
yeah, for sure. Like, there is, I feel like for so long with social media, there was so much of the perfect, perfect, perfect everything that we're
Hmm.
sick of it and we're over it. And at this point,
Yeah.
like, we fucking know it's not perfect, okay?
Yeah,
Like,
like let's get real here. Like
right.
let's talk about the shit that's shit.
Because the shit is shit sometimes.
Because sometimes the shit is shit. Yeah.
Why do so many moms think they need to have it together 24/7? Again, social media and pressures from their parents and limiting beliefs that they grew up with, I feel like.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with that.
What's a myth we wish that we could delete for future generations of moms?
Um, I don't know. I think there's so many. Like, I wish that, more moms knew that it's going to be hard, but you can do it. I wish more moms knew that, birth doesn't have to be the most terrifying thing about having a baby. I wish more moms knew that it isn't perfect and that, there's going to be things that you don't like. Yeah, I don't know. I think there's just so many.
Yeah. And I think for me, like it's probably a myth, but the whole it gets better as I get older. We were talking about this, I think, before,
Mm,
like, or that was one of your questions in the comment box. But um I'm very bad for saying that. Like I'm horrible for telling people when they're in the survival mode. I always say like I promise it gets better as I get older. And it's not that it gets better. I do feel like it does get easier because you're not in that survival of constantly fighting with a child that doesn't understand what you're trying to tell them.
right.
Or for me it was car seats and diapers. Like once they got out of the car seat, I was like, oh, so much freedom. I don't have to clip or like pull a fucking lug a thing out of the car. Like there were so many things for
Right.
me that in my mind it was easier because it wasn't those things anymore.
Right. And see, I'm completely different. I feel like I had like it was great in the beginning. He was just so cuddly
Just
and
there.
snuggly. Like, I would go back to the newborn stage 1,000 times over. I feel like I have so much fear around him growing up because like I look at you and I'm like, oh my God, your kid's in high school. Like there's just so much less control there. I feel like you don't
But
know
you learn
what they're
it.
gonna do.
You learn those things, the trust you learn. Because I'm
Yeah, I
for
guess.
one, what I was like, can I just keep them in my bubble forever?
Hmm.
Right.
Hmm.
And like slowly with my oldest, he'd be like, oh, can I walk to the park by myself? Can I walk to the
Right.
end of the subdivision by myself with a cell phone because we have like 360? These are things
Yeah.
that help me to be able to feel safer. Like right now,
Yeah.
he's on lunch at school and I know he's going, either by himself or with a friend to the restaurant to get something to eat. And then he's probably going to friends. Like there's things that he's doing right
Right.
now that 2 years ago I would be like, no fucking way.
Right.
No way in hell. Like last summer, before he went into high school, I was like, there's no way I'm going to be okay with him
Yeah.
on his own doing all the things. And slowly and gradually, my body keeps telling me, like, he's safe. You're
Yeah.
safe.
Yep.
Everything is safe and you're okay. There's more, my youngest is going through stuff in school where she's dealing with a kid who's it's a tough situation and I'm like she feels unsafe, he's okay and he's free and doing whatever he wants to do and she's the one that's feeling unsafe right now and not okay. Like there's
In what's
always
supposed to be a safe environment.
right
So,
there's always
yeah.
things that are happening around us that I'm like I have to just remember that I trust the universe
Yeah.
so much that I put a lot of faith in. If something bad was to happen, I had no control over anyways,
Right.
right? And
Yeah.
I hope obviously nothing bad ever happens. And I very much focus on this is where the positive mindset comes in strong because I very much focus on always visualizing my children in a safe bubble, my safe bubble
Right.
that I put them in, right?
Yeah. I do feel like you're right though in the sense of like it gets a little bit easier as they get older. Like I know from even from just like 2 to 3, like I look at going to the park and it's just a totally different world because I don't have to, follow you around every second or in the sense of like being able to explain things. Like I can explain why we don't do this. Whereas at 2, you can explain it until you're blue in the face and they don't care. They just want to eat crackers and move on to the next thing that we're doing. Whereas at 3, you can kind of explain and you see the questions coming in. And so I can understand your thought process of as they get older, it does get more simple, especially when you're leaving behind.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's cool to look back at videos and stuff like that, right? We have a lot of videos of like the youngest for sure, like just doing all of her chaotic shit when she was little. And I show her that now and she's like, Like, she thinks it's so
So cute.
yeah. And I'm like, it was awful. She would just squeal and scream and whatever else, drive me nuts. Okay. And on that note, I think we're gonna wrap up this episode. So thank you for sitting down with us today. If this episode made you feel seen, don't forget to follow. I Just Sat Down on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, everywhere that you can listen. We are also on YouTube. Share this with a mom who might need a reminder that she's doing better than she thinks.
Bye, guys.
Bye. Well, that went by fast. Kind of like every quiet moment we try to have in real life.
Right? I swear I just sat down. And now it's already time to get back up again.
Story of our lives. But before we head back into the chaos, thank you so much for hanging out with us today.
We hope this episode made you laugh, think, or at least reminded you that you're not the only one trying to hold it all together.
Because none of us really have it figured out. We're all just doing our best. One cup of coffee and one deep breath at a time.
If you enjoyed this episode, hit that follow or subscribe button so you never miss when we finally get to sit down again.
And share it with a friend who could use a little reminder that it's okay to take a break, because she deserves it too.
You can find us over on Instagram and TikTok at ijustsatdown.podcast. We love hearing from you, your stories, your wins, and even your "you won't believe what happened to me today" moments.
Next week, we're diving into...
It's going to be a good one, so get comfy because by the time you finally sit down, we'll be right here with you.